Ordinarily, protesters would be risking their lives demonstrating on this runway, but COVID-19 has grounded most flights in and out of Amsterdam Schiphol Airport. The national carrier KLM says it will need up to 4 billion euros from the Dutch government to get back in the air. These demonstrators and some politicians say a return to business as usual is unacceptable.
Corona forced aviation to a standstill, but it also means that this is a moment for us to reset an industry that's so polluting and causing so many carbon emissions. So if we're going to support aviation companies, then we should set environmental goals, environmental conditions to that support.
Before the coronavirus crisis, more than 70 million passengers passed through Schiphol every year. On Friday, the government reaffirmed plans to develop the airport still further. Environmentalists had expected an announcement on CO2 cuts. The COVID-19 pandemic has not only brought health threats and economic hardship, but to some here also hope for drastic change. They believe this crisis is a historic opportunity to push for a more environmental friendly life, with people buying less things and taking fewer flights. Theo Serrarens was 16 years old when he started working in Rotterdam port. In the past 40 years he's seen what he describes as a container revolution.
Ja, dat zijn complete dorpen die ze hier in één keer lossen.
Ships as large as complete villages are being unloaded here. It's like an oil spill that keeps growing. What are all these goods? Do we really need them? When do we have enough?
Serrarens lost his job and is using this crisis to rethink his and his country's future. He's not alone, and now 170 scientists in the Netherlands have written to the government calling for a major change in policy to come out of this pandemic a greener, more sustainable society.
It's an economic system that produces inequality. It preys on the weak and the marginalized. It doesn't take into account long-term, more substantial aspirations of society. It doesn't protect the environment. It doesn't protect the weak, the marginalized. It doesn't focus on anything but making more profit.
Contrasted with the plans to expand Schiphol Airport, Mural Arcel's remarks sound unrealistic. But his hope is that people in the Netherlands will use the quiet that the coronavirus has created to think again about their lifestyles and think again about air travel too. Vaessen, Al Jazeera, Amsterdam.